Riffical Records presents the Projekt Gemineye Update with your host, Mark Anthony K. Greetings, friends, and welcome to episode 44 of the Projekt Gemineye Update. This is going to be a relatively quick one again. I always say that, but it ends up being like 20 minutes for some reason. Anyways, the main reason why I'm here today is because a lot of you before were asking about getting the limited edition posters. After 50, there were no more because they were in the first 50 copies of the An Ordinary Day vinyl release. So I did order more. I had 30 more done. James McCarthy was kind enough to get them done for me, and they have arrived. In fact, here's a one of it here. They turned out fantastic as usual. They are signed down here. Oops, down here. Where am I to send? Yeah. He's signed them and dated them and numbered them. That was number 80 that I had in my hand, so that's the last one. They seem a little bit bigger, which is good, I think. Not gigantically bigger, like, you know, it's not like people who have it in the vinyl that they bought are going to be like, oh, what the hell. It's maybe like that much wider on the sides. But anyways, it'll be ideal for framing. Speaking of that, this is why I need to talk to you guys, because I have them here. They're nice and flat and beautiful. Shipping. How do you guys want this sent to you? Do you want me to send them in a big envelope with 2 cardboard pieces, keep it flat, tape it up, send it to you like that? Or do you guys want it sent lightly rolled in a tube, sent to you that way? I know, you know, people write it in their tube, like, oh, you know, it's going to be all bent up, but it's not going to be bent. It's going to be in a curve. If you get a couple of encyclopedias, put it down, you can flatten it in a day. I'm going to go tomorrow to the post office and price out both of them, how much it'll cost with the envelope and how much it'll cost with the tube. I haven't decided on a cost yet for it. For the posters, I will decide once I figure out how much the shipping will be, because I don't want to make it outrageous. Those of you who have already been owed posters will be getting them. Just got to figure out the shipping. Okay? So that's the main thing. I just want to let you know that they're here. If you are interested in getting them, let me know. I only have 30 of them, so they'll probably go quickly. But like I said, I don't know yet the difference in the shipping. I'll probably figure out how much it'll cost for Canada, US, and UK, since those are the main territories that have been good for me as far as sales for everything. In Australia, you guys been very faithful, so you too. So that's that. Now I'm going to flip you over to a segment that I'm just going to be starting. I actually started it before. I showed you some clips of me working on some songs for a new record. I'm going to name this whole kind of segment The Process. I thank Steve Wright for coming up with that title. So this is going to be known as The Process from here on in. And today's segment of The Process, we're going to be taking a look at the vinyl mastering sequence that I do for preparing a song for vinyl release. We're going to be taking a look at A New Day, the song I sent in 2 of the songs to Lacquer Channel. They sent me back comments saying that they loved it, that it turned out good. They just recommended to make 2 minor adjustments. You will see what those adjustments are in this segment, so I hope you enjoy it. And when it's all done, I'll be back and I'll talk to you afterwards. So let's go over to that right now. Greetings, folks, and welcome to a segment that I'm going to be calling The Process. Basically, what I'm going to be just going through is the process behind some of the things that I do, whether it's recording songs, whether it's writing songs, or mixing or mastering, just to show you a little bit of the behind-the-scenes stuff. Today, I'm going to go through a little quick segment with you here. Basically, what I'm doing now, if you can see on the screen, is I have up the vinyl master for the song A New Day. This is the master that I sent to Lacquer Channel. They sent me back a response saying that they're very happy with it, that it sounds good, all the treble and the mid and all the frequencies are good. But they did give me a suggestion to try, so I'm going to be doing that now. And that's basically, they thought that the song could do with maybe a teensy bit more low end, saying that while the song sounds good overall, maybe to add a little bit of icing on the cake to maybe boost the bottom end in a couple of spots. So what I'm going to do really quickly here is I'm going to first show you what I've done in terms of the processing of the song. So over here on this side where you see the little arrow going up and down is the section called the submix, where I have my plugins that I do to adjust the sound of the track. And the track is right here. If I play it, you'll hear it. I'll turn up a bit. Okay, so there's a song there. Now, basically what I did to it prior to, well, what I did for it to sound the way it sounds now in this form is I added an EQ, pardon me, and some very slight adjustments. I'm not big on doing huge adjustments, especially in mastering. I think that if you're going to make adjustments, you should do it in the mix. But anyways, you see here, I did a little bit of a shelf there, cutting off everything from 35 hertz and lower. All that to me is kind of just waste information. Nobody really uses that low of frequencies or listens to it very much. There's a slight bump at 50 hertz. There's also a minor cut at 208. There's a slight boost again at 3.38K, which is starting to get into the upper mid levels. And there's also a slight boost again at 6.83. And if you notice over here, where's that mouse? Here it is. Yeah, right here in this area here, I cut very gently though, everything from 20 down to about 12.15K. So everything from there kind of got cut. On vinyl, you don't really need that high of frequencies. In fact, it actually damages the cutting lathe needle when you do that, when you put too much of that top end information in. Okay, so that's the EQ. After that, I added in this EQ, which is more of a specific frequency finding EQ. It gives you a couple of options for different frequencies here in the low end, and you can either boost them or attenuate them, which means to take them away. Now, this is an old kind of mastering trick. It would take the whole video for me to explain why I do this. Just trust me, it sounds good when you do this. And on the other side here, this is the top end boost, and there's a boost of 5K on that. So that, and the reason why I kind of use this one is not so much for the frequency, but, well, yeah, that, but mainly because I like the sound that this plugin gives. It has a certain tone to it that I think sounds really good with vinyl. Next, we have the API compressor, and that's just doing very gently compression. If you watch, let's see if I can just put the song a bit forward. You'll notice the VU meter never went past 2. So I'm trying to get it no more than that, like maybe take away, like maybe drop like 2 dB, or, you know, gain reduction of 2 dB. That's about all that I want. This is a plugin called Vitamin, where you can also kind of boost frequencies. If I play it, you'll see all these levels here. It shows here what's being affected, or what we're listening to. And basically, there's just very, very slight, minute adjustments there. You'll see that. If I can get in focus. Focus. There you go. The low end I boosted by like 1 dB or 1 character point. The mid I put up 8.5. The high mid I put up 5, and that's about it. And they can go up high like to like 50. So those are very small adjustments. Next is the all popular tape saturator. So this is supposed to emulate putting this music onto tape, and when you see it playing, you'll see it doing that. And that just gives it a bit of a more of a tape saturation sound to the overall sound of the track itself. And the last thing is the L2, which is the maximizer. Now the great thing about this is that this is the enemy for most mastering situations. This is where when you hear those records that are getting squashed and your ears get killed on headphones listening to them, this is the enemy usually. This is the maximizer, the limiter. Now I use it very sparingly. As you can see, the threshold is set to like 7.8, like negative 7.8, so that's very little. And on this side here, this attenuation bar, whenever it lights up, it means that it's working. And if you look at the bottom, it shows 0.0. So through the whole song, it never attenuates at all. So it never squishes my song. I'm just using this to just gain more volume. That's it. I'm not using it to squish anything, to flatten anything. No, that's why I think that the vinyl last time turned out excellent, and why I think it's going to turn out really good this time, because I didn't do any of that whatsoever. Now down here, on the master fader, I just added a NLS bus, which is basically emulating the master bus section of a main, like a mixing board. And I selected the SSL, excuse me, the SSL mixing board for that emulation. So, what did I do to adjust what he asked for? Well, after this EQ here, I just added another one of these EQs and did nothing to it except boost those two things that he asked me to do, which was a slight boost at 75 Hertz and a very slight boost at 160. You'll see that the red one, the red dot there is the 75 Hertz, and the orange one is the 160. The 160 has more of a sloping adjustment where it kind of slopes multiple frequencies before and after the 160. And the 75 one, I've narrowed it to make it very specific to that one frequency. So when you listen to it now, that has the adjustment on it. Now, when you're listening to this through YouTube, it's very hard to notice the difference in this, because a lot of these moves are subtle and they're accumulative, meaning that if I was to take off everything, you would notice a difference. But if I was to put on 4 of these plugins and maybe mute one of them, you probably wouldn't notice as big a difference. The difference is when everything's together or if everything's off, basically. So take my word for it. It sounds much better this way with everything on it. And I'm just going to leave it at that for now. I'm going to send it over to let them hear my adjustments. And if we're all good, then we make an appointment. I go over to Lacquer channel and we start doing the cut of the lacquer, in which I will video that as well for you guys to check out as well. So thanks for watching, and I'll see you again soon. Bye for now. Okay, so there you have it. There's the little behind the scenes of how we work and adjust a song for vinyl release. And I think that's it for now. The songwriting is going good, in case you're wondering, and I will update you guys on that. I will be doing some more videos for this sort of the process segment. And until next time, this is Mark Anthony K saying have a great day, and I'll talk to you all soon. Bye for now.